It starts far away from your home, in a narrow stretch of water, thousands of miles from the nearest supermarket shelf, a place most people have never seen. And yet, what happens there could decide what you pay for food, or whether that food is even available at all. Right now, that narrow passage is under pressure. Ships are being rerouted, trade routes are slowing down, costs are rising, and quietly, a new kind of crisis is beginning to take shape. Because this is no longer just about war. This is about supply. This is about survival. And if this continues, the world could be heading towards something far more dangerous than an energy shock, a global food shock. The conflict has already disrupted energy markets, but now it is spreading into something deeper, something more fundamental. Food supply chains. At the center of this disruption is one of the most important shipping routes in the world, the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway that connects major producers to global markets. Every day, massive cargo ships pass through this route, carrying not just oil, but goods, raw materials, fertilizers, food-related supplies. Now, that flow is being disrupted. Some ships are avoiding the route entirely, others are being delayed, and each delay creates pressure, not instantly, but gradually, like tension building in a system. When energy prices rise, the impact is immediate. Fuel becomes expensive. Transport costs increase. But food is different. Food systems are complex. They depend on timing, on logistics, on stability. A delay at one point can affect multiple stages of the chain, from production to processing to delivery. And unlike energy, food shortages are harder to reverse quickly. Crops take time to grow. Supplies take time to stabilize, which means once disruption begins, it can last much longer. The blockage and risk in the strait have forced shipping companies to adapt. Routes are being changed. Ships are taking longer paths. Fuel costs are increasing. Insurance costs are rising. And every added mile adds cost. That cost doesn't disappear. It moves from shipping companies to manufacturers to retailers and finally to consumers. This is how a disruption turns into inflation, not overnight, but step by step. At first glance, a conflict affecting shipping routes may seem distant from food, but the connection is direct. Factories rely on imported materials. Food production relies on fertilizers. Fertilizers rely on energy and transport. If one part slows down, everything slows down. And when supply slows down, prices go up. This is the beginning of a chain reaction. Let's break it down. Step 1, shipping delays increase costs. Step 2, manufacturers pay more for raw materials. Step 3, production becomes more expensive. Step 4, retail prices rise. Step 5, consumers feel the pressure, and for millions of people, even small increases matter, because food is not optional. It is essential. This is not limited to one country. This is global. Supply chains connect continents. What happens in one region affects many others. A disruption in a key route can impact markets thousands of miles away. This is why the situation is so serious, because the effects are widespread and difficult to contain. Global organizations are already raising concerns. The numbers are alarming. Millions of people are at risk. Food insecurity is rising, and if conditions worsen, the situation could escalate further. This is not speculation. It is a warning. Food crises are not like other crises. They develop slowly, but once they reach a tipping point, they can spread rapidly because food systems are interconnected and vulnerable. Weather events stop conflicts. Economic pressures all combine, and when they do, the result can be severe. What makes this situation more dangerous is that it is not happening in isolation. There are already existing pressures, climate-related disruptions, supply chain instability, not to economic challenges. Now, add conflict to that mix, and the system becomes even more fragile. Time is a critical factor. The longer the disruption continues, the greater the impact. Short-term disruptions can be managed, but prolonged instability creates lasting effects. Contracts are affected, production cycles are disrupted, and recovery becomes more difficult. For many people, the effects will be gradual, prices increasing, availability decreasing, choices becoming limited. But for others, the impact could be immediate. Access to basic food becoming uncertain, and that is where the real risk lies. This is not just about one conflict. It is about how interconnected the world has become. A single disruption can ripple outward, affecting multiple systems. And when those systems include food, the consequences are serious. There are multiple possible scenarios. The situation stabilizes, routes reopen, supply chains recover, or the disruption continues, expands, and leads to further instability. At this stage, both outcomes are possible. This is a moment of uncertainty, a point where decisions matter, where actions can influence outcomes, and where the direction of events is not yet fixed. It is easy to think of war as something distant, something that happens far away, on maps, in headlines. But the reality is different, because in today's world, distance does not protect you. A conflict in one region can affect lives across the globe. Not immediately, not dramatically, but gradually, quietly, through systems we depend on every day, like food. And that is what makes this moment so important. Because this is not just about ships, or routes, or prices. This is about something far more basic, something every person depends on, something that connects us all, food, and if that system is disrupted, the effects will not stay contained. They will spread across countries, across economies, across communities, and until one day, the impact is no longer distant, but personal. And by then, the question will no longer be, could this happen? But why didn't we see it coming?